Hello! Today I wanted to talk about the latest Laine magazine issue, which I have right here. I got this in the mail yesterday. Today is Wednesday. I think I will publish this on Friday. And at first I was thinking about just chatting a little bit about this magazine in my next general knitting updates video, but I felt like I have enough to say about the patterns to warrant its own video, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. The magazine has 11 patterns, as usual. I think all of the Laine magazines have that number. So let's get into it. So here is the latest Laine magazine, number 22, for this autumn 2024. On the cover you have the names for all the designers here, and the model is Nia Virolainen, who models all of the knits for this magazine. I also really like the cover choice, the color choice for the cover. I think the blue is very nice and very good for this autumn. The photographs have been taken in Paimion Parantola, which is a historical tuberculosis hospital here in Finland. It was designed by Alvar Aalto and taken into use in 1933. And it's a very iconic building of functionalist architecture. And in the photographs for this magazine, you can see the really iconic use of bright colors in the hospital. The first pattern is called Luumu by Gudrun Johnston, and Luumu means plum in Finnish. I'm pretty sure that was also the idea for this name, and at least it really fits with the color choice for the cardigan. It has been knit with Jamison's of Shetland Spindrift and Madeline Tosh Silk Cloud, which is a pretty unusual combination in my opinion. I don't really remember coming across the combination of Shetland wool, and I think the Madeline Tosh yarn is a silk mohair, but I'm really intrigued about it. And even though the color for the sample here is very pretty, I would be curious to try marling with using the different colors of yarn. Overall, I really like this design. I like that it's a bit more of a cropped length, so I think it would look very flattering with skirts and dresses. I like the slight V-neck and the little pocket, and also the details on the back look very interesting to me. So personally I would really like to knit this one at some point. The second pattern is by Caroline Skovgaard Bentsen, called Hieja, and it's a textured pullover which has been knit using Isayer tweed, silk mohair and spinny, so 3 strands of yarn. Honestly, even for this one, I would personally like to probably do a marled fabric. I just think if you have 3 strands of yarn, it kinda almost calls for some marling. But they are showing the sweater in one color, and then this one in 2 different colors, and I do like both of them. There is also some marling in this sample. You can see around the sleeve and also the collar. Yeah, this is another design that I would really like to knit myself at some point. The next design is Aalia by Pauliina Leisti. I have been knitting the Aamuyö cardigan by Pauliina Leisti. So honestly, I would be really curious to try this one as well, because I really like the cardigan, so I'm kind of trusting her as a designer already. The cabled sweater has been knit with Jalovilla Räsy, which I have never used, but it looks like a pretty woolly yarn based on the sample photos. I really like the cables. To me they kind of resemble a honeycomb pattern, and I'm also pretty convinced by the shape, by the fit of the sweater. Like in these two pictures, when you look at the neck shaping, to me it looks very flattering and very well fitted. So yeah, another pattern that I would like to knit at some point. So far pretty good. Then we have the first accessory, which is by Eri Chimisu, called Walking with Nala. And it's a very delicate looking lace shawl, knit with Cocon Merino and Kid Silk mohair. And it looks very beautiful, but personally I'm a bit intimidated by it, because it almost looks too delicate. Like I feel like if I would wear this out, I would get it stuck on something immediately and destroy it. But it is very beautiful, so maybe something to be reserved for special occasions. Then we have a sweater by Megumi Shinagawa called Aika. And this one uses the uncommon thread Cloud Fingering. I'm not familiar with the yarn, but I can see that it's a very, very delicate, very fluffy yarn, which works really well with this lace pattern. And probably if you wanted to have this very cloud-like appearance, you have to use the suggested yarn or something with a similar fiber profile. But yeah, honestly, I really like this one as well. So I'm really sold on the garments of this number. The next one is by Ayano Tanaka, called Morning Mist. And it has been knit with Harrisville Designs Daylights. I am not familiar with the yarn, but to me it looks like a wool yarn at least. A pretty woolly wool. And it's a very interesting cable design. I would characterize this one as very organic looking, because it's, in a way, it looks like the fabric is just living or breathing in this sort of way. It's very interesting. And yeah, once again, I am really excited about most of the garment patterns for this magazine, because this is another one that I could definitely see myself making at some point. Then the second accessory, which is Bokeh by Ines Garcia Suarez. This one is maybe not for me. It's knitted using Walk Collection Merino DK. And it's a triangle shawl. I am not really a shawl person, a shawl knitter, so this one is probably a pass, simply because I don't knit that many shawls. But it is a beautiful design, and if you do like knitting and wearing shawls, I'm sure that this would be very pleasant to knit and very versatile to style. Next is a design by Maaike van Gein called Grafiet, and it's a very graphic design with this very striking use of color around the v-neck and the shoulders. This one is maybe not my style so much, but I do like the design, and I think for the right person it would look very cool. And sorry, it's knit by Woolfolk Luft and Tund yarn. Then we have the Amisk cardigan by Anna Daku. It has been knit with Crux Fibers Canadian Unspun, which personally I find a bit scary. I have never knit with unspun yarn, and to me it still feels very unapproachable and very stressful to think about. I have different thoughts about the cardigan design. I do like the lace panels on the sleeves and on the front, but I'm not really that sure about the shape. And my main concern is the neck area, because you can see the cardigan comes really high up on the neck. So I don't know if I would personally find that comfortable, but let me know what you think about that design choice. Then one of the patterns that I was the most excited about is this one by Maria Gomez called Stripes Not Stripes, and it's knitted using Lani Vendole Chic Blend yarn, which I love. I think it's a combination of wool and mohair, and it's such a gorgeous yarn. I really love knitting with it, and I really like the pattern too. So it's a striped sweater, but it also has this beautiful texture that makes it much more interesting in my opinion. I am usually not that interested in stripe patterns that are just, stockinette, but this textured stripe I can definitely get behind, and I think this would be my striped sweater, definitely. So yeah, another garment that I'm really excited about. And then is the last pattern of this number by Yukie Onodera called Braids. And this one is knit with La Bien-Aimée, Wensley worsted and mohair silk yarns. And of course the name Braids has to do with the design element of these braids coming down from the shawl. And these pictures are really selling it to me, because I like the way it has been tied around the neck like a scarf, but also in this and this photo, the way it sits on the shoulders looks so nice. I think it looks so well fitting. So this one is probably my favorite accessory of this magazine. So those were all of the patterns for this number. My final thoughts about the Laine magazine for this autumn is that I am pretty happy with it. I really like the different sweaters, and I really think that I will cast on a few of them in the future. My main critique for this number is about the accessories, because we got only shawls. No mittens, no socks or hats or anything else, just the different shawls, which I mean would be perfect for someone who knits just garments and shawls, but for myself I would appreciate a bit more variety in the accessories. I would be really curious to know what you think about the latest number. Are you going to pick it up? Are you interested in just a singular pattern, or was this one a dud in your opinion? Let me know, and see you next time. Bye!